Hi guys, Swiss Bohemian here. Today is a wonderful day, a wonderful autumn day, and I want to show you some manga I got in English recently and also enjoying the weather here in Switzerland. I'm hiking up the hill I hiked up in last December, so stick around. So I'm up here on the Hohe Winde again like last year. That's a small hill in Switzerland, around 1,100 meters high, and it's a lovely Saturday afternoon. In the background, if you look closely, you can see the city of Basel and with its tallest skyscraper. So without further ado, let me present you some of the manga I got in English recently. First up is My Wife Has No Emotion from Jiro Sugiura. So I talked a little bit about this one in my Japanese manga unboxing video of August. It's a quite lovely rom-com, a little bit a quirky one because the main interest, the girl, is a robot, but still it's very sweet, very fluffy, and it's published by 7 Seas. So this one, I actually quite liked it, I enjoyed it. If you are in the mood for a sweet rom-com with a little bit of twist, I recommend you this one here. Then I got the latest volume of The Dangers in My Heart by Norio Sakurai, and I've talked more than once about this one. For me, that's currently my favorite rom-com. This one is really excellent. And if you have gotten the first volume but you're not quite convinced yet if you should continue to read it, I definitely recommend you to continue it because things pick up in the second volume and especially in the third one. So the relationship really develops and it's really good. I think the main characters are really believable, like I said in my video about the announcement of the English release. And in my opinion, the English translation is also quite good. Then I got the 5th volume of My Senpai is Annoying, which is currently airing as an anime. So My Senpai is Annoying, I quite enjoy it. I think it's a sweet office work, office life rom-com. I quite like Futaba, but also I like her senpai. The art is polished, it's simple, it's sweet, cute, it's polished. And I have to say I quite enjoyed also the anime, which just started recently. Oops, that was one of my manga falling down. The wind is quite heavy here. Then Sadako-san and Sadako-chan. That is another Sadako manga I got. I got one in English back in February. And this one is a little bit different. So the first I got was more a kind of slice of life manga with a hint of tragedy. And this one is more like a comedy with short skits. It's about this young little girl. Her name is Sadako-chan. She lives in a closet because her mom wants to shelter her from the real life. Maybe she has some psychic abilities, we don't quite know yet. And she's visited by the adult Sadako. and both like quickly develop a friendship, and they start actually a YouTube channel, and they are like talking about how to boost the viewership, and that's really quite sweet. It has some short, nice little gags. The art is simple but effective. So it's published also by 7 Seas. I gotta say, 7 Seas really publishes all the manga I quite like. Next up is When Will Ayumu Make His Move by Soichiro Yamamoto. I talked about this manga already in a separate video when I talked about the Japanese release. I'm a fan of Soichiro Yamamoto's work, and When Will Ayumu Make His Move is also just a great rom-com. This one I think is also well translated. It is published by 7 Seas, and at the end of each chapter there is also a small explanation about the current shogi game. Well, explanation, it's shown what position, what play is the end result. So if you play shogi and you know how to play it, then this is maybe like a nice little trivia for you. Next up, I got the first 2 volumes of Days of Love at Seagull Villa by Kodama Naoko. This is a sweet yuri manga between an older office lady and a younger landlord. The office lady Mayumi, she just had a breakup and she goes to the countryside, and there she meets Rin, the younger landlady of an inn, and they both quickly become like good friends and even a little bit more. I quite enjoyed this manga. It has an interesting story. The artwork is I think a little bit typical of this kind of yuri manga. I mean that in a good way. It has this kind of like shoujo manga touch. It's quite good. If you like yuri manga and you haven't gotten this one yet, I recommend you this one. Speaking of yuri manga, I got this one, Even Though We Are Adults by Takako Shimura, which is great. This one was fantastic. It's a story about a teacher in her early 30s, Ayano, who meets a little bit younger bartender called Akari. So she's on the right, this is Ayano, and on the left, this is Akari. And this is a very realistic yuri manga. Actually, it's not quite yuri, I would say it's just a relationship manga between 2 adult women. Ayano on the right, she is married, and already in the first volume she starts to talk to her husband that she met this other woman in a bar, and she probably fell in love. She has feelings for this woman, and then there's the question of, well, is that already like cheating? Or how should we continue our relationship? Should we like get a divorce? And also the relationship between Akari and Ayano, it doesn't just develop very quickly. It's a very realistic relationship where Akari is like also questioning if Ayano is really serious about this relationship, because Ayano is a married woman. So is that like just for her, is just that a kind of fling, and so on. So this one is really good. And Takako Shimura, maybe you know her, she drew the manga Wandering Son, which was also an anime about 10 years ago. So this one, I must say, I quite liked it. And this reminds me that I should like get more manga by Takako Shimura. It's very down to earth, nothing is like exaggerated. So when she talks to her husband about that she has feelings about for another woman, she talks it very calmly, and the husband is also extremely calm. It's somehow unsettling. I quite like that. It's somehow quite realistic. It's published also by 7 Seas, and I don't know how many volumes there are. I'm definitely going to continue to buy this manga. I'm really interested how this story continues to develop between these two, if they will then become a pair or if they will just like separate and Ayano will continue her relationship, she will continue her marriage with her husband. And finally I got the first 2 volumes of Slumbering Beauty by Umi Unita. She drew Bunny Drop. And this is an interesting manga about a high school girl who has like trouble staying awake, and then she meets a spirit, a slumbering spirit, so a spirit who puts other people or other things like pets to sleep. It's not so much a romance manga, this is more like a friendship manga. It's more like with an interesting premise, and yeah, I like that so far. I haven't read the second volume yet, but I must say the first volume was quite interesting, and the art is simple but effective. It's not so much on the cute side, it's on the very polished side. It has like this simple old school look, which I quite dig, and it has these very sweet, very funny moments. This manga has only 2 volumes. I have read only the first volume so far, but I quite liked it. So that was it for today's update video of my manga collection. I hope you liked it. It's quite freezing up here, it's only 8 degrees Celsius. If you want to see more of these kinds of videos where I talk about manga and also in a rather special location, like here up in a hill, just let me know, drop me a comment down below. So, see you next time. Goodbye. Hi there. You look sweet. Yes, you like it when I touch your chin, huh? Yes, 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 yes. Ruff, wash, 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 wash. Yum, yum, yum. You like the grass, huh? Hi there. Can I touch you? Hmm? No, no. Whoa. Such a lovely horse.